Get started. We've got folks on Zoom. Hello, guys, and full crew here. So, having gone through some disruption earlier this year, we are on a really good trend. We're getting orders out. Supply chain's getting a little better. We're making big adjustments to our marketing, digital marketing, and so we're really, having gone through a storm, we are really heading in the right direction, it appears, although there's a lot of unknowns still. But I'm really proud of the way every one of you sort of bowled through that and got us through the last few months that has really improved quite a bit. And so that said, I want to talk about this guy for a second. Why would I talk about this guy? This guy's name is John Stuart Mill. John Stuart Mill. He was born in 1806 and he died in 1873. He was British. He was a philosopher. He's probably one of the better philosophers of that century. He was one of the first people to want to give voting rights and other rights to women. Yeah, it's cool. He was very ahead of his time, and really well-learned academic guy. Also was in Parliament. And the reason I'm talking about him, not because of what he did, not because of the women thing, but because he is considered to be the last person on Earth that knew virtually everything there was to know, academically and professionally. So that, and then technology and knowledge grew, and there's no way anybody on Earth could know everything now, because it's happening so fast. So that's really not that long ago. That's 150 years ago. It's really not that long ago. There were people walking around that pretty much knew everything, right? We don't have that now. Now we're more dependent on each other. Just the subject of physics alone, just that one subject, nobody could know it all now. And that subject, knowledge is doubling every 8 years. So even if you did know it all, you couldn't keep up with it because it's doubling every 8 years. That's how fast things are happening and changing and adjusting. And humans, we're having a little bit of a tough time adapting to that because we don't like change. We don't like change. None of us really likes change. We like other people to change, but we're getting in our comfort zone of what we do, and we don't like change. And you hear me talk about this all the time. Again, it's the number one business academic research thing is employee resistance to change or changing a culture. All these academic writings, because companies have a hard time doing that. But you guys are doing it. This company has done that, which is amazing. There probably should be a case study of what happened here in this company, because it's a whole different company from when I first stepped in here. And I'm really proud of the way we've moved forward. This guy, I'm talking about him for just a second because Tracy and Wayne are related to Mr. Kirkwood. He is a professional football player, and it's really hard to be a professional football player. You have to be one of the best in the world at a certain thing. How hard it is to be the best in the world at a certain thing, it's really hard. I can tell you from experience. So he is in the league. Who knows what team he's going to play for next, but he has to decide how he's going to spend his time to get better, because the only way he stays in the league is to get better. And what is he going to work on? How is he going to spend that time? What's so interesting about time is that we have all the same amount of time. I don't care how much money you have or don't have. I don't care where you're from. I don't care what is your main language. I don't care. It doesn't matter. We only all have 24 hours in a day, and we have to decide how we're going to spend that time. Some of it's already accounted for, right? X amounts for sleep, got to eat. But some of this is how you decide to spend your time, how you align your long-term goals with what you do every single day. And it's usually short-term thinking that screws up your long-term goals, right? Something happens, some incident happens, a short-term thinking phase that screws you up. So don't let your short-term thinking get in the way of your long-term goals, whether that's professionally or personally. So with this formula right here, this next formula, is what I think is the secret to you reaching your goals, whether it be goals in this building or goals outside of this building, right? And this formula of quality, like how well you're going to do, is, first of all, the most important thing is the biggest thing there, and that's knowledge. So in order to do good at something, you have to have knowledge. You have to know what it is, how to do it, to be good at it. You can't not have knowledge. Knowledge is the most important thing. So if that's true, if you want something, you have to seek the knowledge of what it is to obtain that. The next thing on here is P, is practice, is what you do. So if you have the knowledge, you have to practice this to get better at it, right? You have to. But it's not as important as the knowledge, because if you practice the wrong thing, you're not going to get there, right? The last thing there, believe it or not, is talent. You do need a little talent. But practice and knowledge will take you most of the way. And I'm saying this for you personally. How are you spending your time? Are you spending time on things that are getting you to where you want to go? I mean, are we doing that as a company? They're both important. This process of being better at things is for the company and for you personally. So here's some of the things that we're doing. First of all, we invested in a little bit of company culture. That's a video. Can that run? Can you click that to run it? Not that it matters. We got some cantaloupe and some watermelon coming in. We get a little bit of produce every day that we can take home. Yeah. And we did that work a long time ago. We invested a little bit of our time into that to make this happen, and now we reap the reward of that. That's what we want to be doing in our lives. We want to be planting gardens of the areas that you want to have the produce from. How do we get watermelons in our lives? So that's just a sort of a pseudonym of how important it is to invest in the right thing. If we hadn't done that, we wouldn't be bringing home these watermelons and these tomatoes and all that. It wouldn't happen for us because we didn't invest our time into that thing. Next slide. So what are you doing? Are you wasting time? Do you value your time? The way you spend your time is who you're going to end up being. And it's going to determine whether or not you are successful in your own mind or not. If you waste time, you are not going to get to where you want to go. Now, we need to rest and we need to have pleasure, but you have to invest in yourself. You have to think about and stop for a second. Am I investing in myself every day to get me to where I want to go? Are you investing every day when you come to work in here in your time that you spend here? Are you investing your time wisely here? Because that's important, because we'll never get there if you don't. If you waste time here, we will fail. We're dependent. There's nobody here that knows everything. We're all dependent on each other for this company to survive. And it's really important that we spend our time wisely. We're trying to do that. We're spending time, go to the next slide. We're spending time really completely redoing our website, completely redoing the content. You can see there's multiple images, videos, bullet points. This is A+ content. This is what we're having to do for our whole site. And there are 5,000 SKUs on this site. Just an incredible amount of time that we have to spend on it, but that's worth doing. That's time that it's worth doing, right? We're spending time, go ahead. I mean, we're on top of ourselves because we have so much stuff here. We have to spend time creating space. And I keep dumping more and more stuff on Vince, and you guys figure out how to make it happen. But this is how we have to be innovative, and we need help from everyone to make this happen. Next slide. No, you can go to the next one. We just spent some time on repackaging things for our B2B business, and we're having some success there. We're potential success there where people are inquiring about that. So this is a lot of work to make this whole thing change, but this would be something that could be sold in a store with that kind of packaging. But it just doesn't happen unless you do it. And so those are things that we're working on. What else? Our catalogs are out. You see this. We have to continue to innovate. This company, Ocre, is in Spain. They produce amazing, amazing, high-end, expensive model ships. And it's a great new partner with us. They do some good jobs on digital marketing. This is a company that could be very, very important to us in this relationship. And it's right up our alley because the quality is so good. We came out with 5 new wearable lights for getting light into tight spaces, which is what people like. They need this. Our people, our customers are working in small areas, tiny spots. So the typical lighting doesn't work for them. We have to find solutions for them. This was debated on whether or not anybody would ever buy this very, very expensive dust vacuum. Very, very high end, and we're seeing these. We had somebody buy 3 of them the other day. I mean, these are moving. So our customers need unique solutions for the kind of work, the specialty and precision kind of work that they do, and we need to be innovative, continue to be innovative to help them solve their problems, their issues. And of course, this is our new make block, our new laser cutter. We had great success with laser cutter previously. We hope this will be a winner for us too, just a new introduction of that. So all the while we're having to make adjustments for our time, we have to spend some time on innovation for us to continue to serve our customers correctly. So another thing I want to talk about is a lot of us, English is not our first language. And I want to just explain to those of us who are, that English is our first language. I want to explain to you just how difficult English is. English is stupid if you look at it for a second, right? Look at, if you were in a position of having to try to learn English, you're going to learn the alphabet, and then you're going to find out that, some of these letters are words. Are you kidding me? Y is a letter, but it's also a question. R is a word. O. C, believe it or not, the letter C isn't even in the word C. S-E-E does not have a C. That's stupid. B, T, so that's tough, right? Just the alphabet alone and then realizing these are words is really difficult. It makes no sense. Go to the next one. And then this whole plural thing. Plural thing is ridiculous, right? You think, so box, the plural of box is boxes. So you take a word like ox, which is just like box. It's not oxes, it's oxen. What happened? Why did that happen? That makes no sense. Teeth, tooth is plural is teeth. Why isn't booth beef? Huh? That doesn't make any. The plural of mouse is mice. So if you have two house, is it a heis? So keep in mind that people here are working together, coming at all these different perspectives, having all these different personal challenges, and even language is one of them, right? And everybody's doing a great job. But I just think it's important that we stop for a second and just understand that there's a lot of different perspectives in here and a lot of different challenges that people are dealing with. Before I get to Employee of the Month, I do have to say, Donald is his business back there in that corner, and he's kind of on an island, but he's actually just kicking ass right now. He is kicking ass. He is, the sales are really good. He's on a really good stride to take that business and really go forward. And I'm proud of what's going on. I think it has so much potential, but we're on the right track now. The trajectory of this is really going forward very, very strong. The Employee of the Month, he might be going, why am I not the employee? The Employee of the Month, the Employee of the Month is somebody that, does her job with grace. With grace. Quality work, has stepped in, and imagine moving from a country to this country, not knowing anybody here, walking into this building and just trying to navigate. And she's done just an amazing job. Every single day she's doing even better, and she fits in here just perfectly well. What did I do with that? And the Employee of the Month this month is Hirok.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Speech? You want to give a speech?
Not right now.
Okay. Later on. All right, that's good. So we have food for the break. What's that? No, he's good. He didn't. So we're all good with that. And thank you guys that are away. And Adam, I'll hook up with you in just a little bit if that works for you. Thank you guys. All right. Thanks, guys.